here today to show you a walkthrough of my 2020 Week in the Life album. It is done finally. It took me a little bit longer than I anticipated, but that's all right. It's finished, and it's finished this year, so that's what counts. I ended up going with a 6x8, and I did the yellow striped album because it's just super fun. I've already got my spine done there using the LE Studio Stanley Jr. Alphas, which are a favorite. I use those on all my spines. All right, so let's jump in. I started off with a striped transparency. This is from the Gratitude story kit from Allie Edwards, and then just stapled on a tag that I made, stamped with the Week in the Life stamp from the 3x4 stamp set that came in. And then it's backed with a piece of Felicity Jane patterned paper, where I stamped "This is our life," so it would sort of shine through in different places. I'm really happy with how that turned out. And then on the back, I've got a full-size photo that we took in April. We took this at the beginning of the week, I think. And then I added some chipboard here as a little bit of embellishment. And this week card, this is a 4x6 card. I added one of the labels from the sticker pad and an Avery index tab. And then on the back, I've typed out my reason why. This was a card, a digital card that came, that we got as a download for participating in the Week in the Life prep party class. So that was super fun. And then for each day, I've followed a really similar formula for almost every day, starting with the divider transparency. So you can see those sort of across the top here. And I've stapled on the number of that day, so like 1 through 7, added some sort of embellishment, and these are day of the week stickers. These are not the rubber embellishments. These are stickers from the sticker pad. And then I started with a 4 3x4 page, because I usually start with a full-size photo, and I wanted to just mix it up this year. And in those pockets, I've got a one of the quote cards, a gratitude card that I typed my journaling out on, and then 2 photos, generally speaking. I stamped the same time on both of these, so then I just like wrote in the time here at the bottom. And then just embellished with word phrase stickers, trying to keep the embellishments thin this year so that my album isn't as chunky as it has been in the last few years. And then on the back, mostly more photos. Sometimes there's something else included. And then one thing I did to get my husband's voice in my album, since it's just the two of us, is I used these Notes from Today cards. These are from LE Studio. And I had him fill out one for every day of the week that's just something that he wanted to take note of. So he completely did that part all on his own. I just gave him the cards and told him what I wanted. And he contributed in that way. So I love having his voice in here. I think Week in the Life last year was the first year that I started really including his voice and his perspective in my albums. And so I'm happy to have that again. For each day, I made a tag. I wanted a little bit of mixed media feel for this and to create some of my own embellishments and pieces. So these are all tags from Ranger that makes stamping and mixed media products. And I used some Tim Holtz ink to just sort of smoosh around on there and get a cool looking vibe for each one of these. So I have one for every day, I think. And then just embellished with some ribbon. On here are little notes, some additional journaling from my main journaling, which I'll show you in a minute. But this is a list of things we're into right now. And then on the back, just a photo and a sticker from the sticker pad. I love the TVs. They were included in the Watch story kit, and I still have a bunch of those. So just using those to highlight shows that we were watching throughout this week, Westworld and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Then for each day, I have a full-size photo, and this is sort of like where I embellished. I added the day of the week tiny acetate word strip there, sort of a word phrase sticker usually, the timestamp, and a piece of chipboard or other chunky embellishment. This is a photo I've taken every year so far of me walking out the door. Usually I take this on my way to work, but I'm not working out of the house anymore. So this was a picture of me going out for my morning walk, which shows like my sneakers and my leggings and my water bottle that I take with me. So just the same view, but slightly different. And I sort of love that. Then inside, I did all my typed journaling for the day. So for each day of the week, I stuck with a story theme that was primarily guiding my journaling throughout the day and my storytelling and photo taking. So for Monday, it was around here. These are the large Jane alphas from Ellie's Studio that I use to create the days of the week. I could have bought them from Allie, but I already have similar stamps, so I just made them myself. And then I typed in, like this says around here. So I typed in the theme for that day sort of over top of the stamped days of the week. Added an embellishment where it was necessary. Again, trying to keep those flat. These are some embellishments that I made myself, again, playing around with some watercolor and ink and stamping and using some of the stamps that I have, mostly from Allie. So here my journaling went on the back, so I just added, I believe this is almost like a 5x7 photo of my husband and I. Then I've got 4x6 pockets, and one of the things that I did for some of the days, I didn't do it for every day, but as we were leading up to Week in the Life this year, Allie talked about doing, taking photos that show a progression throughout the day. And so I really love that idea and thought that was a unique way, since we're at home and living through the pandemic and working from home and really not being anywhere else. I thought that would be a really cool lens for this year. So this one was around the table on Monday. So I've got 3 photos that sort of flip up here. So 10:05 a.m., 10:27 or 12:27 p.m. And then so like breakfast, lunch, and dinner basically. And I think those are great. I'm really happy with that. I think that's something I would like to do at least a couple of days in future years as well. And then on the back, I included another 4x6 photo, some more handmade embellishments. And then what I did for these cards, I didn't really know what to do with them. And so at the beginning of August, when I went in and finished my album, I just looked through each day and wrote about that on August 8th. And you'll see most of them were done this day. I think they did them all the same day. But you know, when I look back at Monday, I want to remember how good it feels to run in the morning and accomplish a goal. I want to remember that I've finally gotten into a weekly cleaning routine and how grateful I am for the time to do it, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, just a little bit of like, what am I thinking of a few months after this is done and what really stands out to me? So I like that as a sort of like, I have all kinds of different journaling, right? I've got my husband's note cards. I've got the journaling for my theme that's really wordy and very deep in the storytelling. I've got timed journaling using the daily details sheets. And then I've got sort of reflective journaling, looking back a couple months later, what stands out to me at that point. These are sheets that came in a Week in the Life kit or a Day in the Life kit or some kit a long time ago, and I'm still using them up. I like them for Week in the Life. And so it's just a log of what we're doing each hour. And then a photo on the back. Another 6x8 photo, a little bit of embellishment. Another 6x8 photo. I love the big photos in my album. That's one of the things that I most look forward to about Week in Life, is sort of capturing big photos. And so I like to include those. So I have a bunch of those each day. All right, moving into Tuesday, same sort of setup, using one of the pleather embellishments from, I had Allie's mini kit this year, and some of the pieces are things from my stash, but mostly I worked from that kit. More 3x4s. And then the thing that I wanted to include on, I did it on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday because I did one for each of us, including the dog, was this daily details card. This is from Allie. It may have been a notepad, I think. And so I just typed out or wrote out things: loving, watching, listening, eating, drinking, going. So I have my husband fill it out for Tuesday and included that. Catching up on some news. This is my other tag for this day. This is a great quote from somewhere. I wish I had written on here. I meant to write on here where it was from and I totally forgot to. But it says, you can't skip chapters. That's not how life works. You have to read every line, meet every character. You won't enjoy all of it. Hell, some chapters will make you cry for weeks. You'll read things that you don't want to read. You will have moments you don't want the pages to end, but you have to keep going. Stories keep the world revolving. Live yours and don't miss out. I just thought that was really perfect. I found it from somebody on Instagram, and just thought that was really perfect for this particular week in the life during pandemic. This is a photo I took in our car. We have a Tesla, and so it was in like auto drive mode, and so that's really cool and new to us this year. Another full-size photo, again with just sort of a cluster of embellishments there. Tuesday's journaling was facts and feelings. So the way I did this is that I wrote a fact, and then I wrote a feeling, and then I wrote a fact, and I wrote a feeling, sort of in response to that. So fact, today is one of the only days this month I've worn something other than leggings. Feelings, I was never really a fan of leggings until about 2 years ago. Now I can't get out of them. And so the facts are sort of statements about what's happening throughout the day, and then the feelings are my reactions and thoughts about that. And then on the back, I had some extra space, so I just used this quote. This was a quote from Allie. I believe it's something that we got in the prep party downloads. It says, it's totally okay to have no idea what's next. Again, totally perfect for this time of year. The phone notepad, I still have some of this. This is from the tech story kit, so I include these in my week in life, my day in the life, December daily. And so this was a screenshot of the Beautiful Mess podcast that I was listening to, and a pink playlist on Spotify. Another progression, this one was sort of our evening. So this is 7:33 p.m., 8:30 p.m., and almost 9 o'clock p.m. and just the progression of like my husband's working and I'm playing video games. I'm playing video games and my husband and the dog are resting. My husband's playing video games and I'm working. So those were fun. I'm happy I included those. Nice thing about having a self-driving car is that you can take photos in there. So my car was doing its thing and I was like, oh, I could snap a photo of myself driving. And then on the back, another photo of us at the table and more journaling, reflective journaling. The today's details card, and then on the back, a cute photo of our dog with her current favorite toy, or her current favorite at that time, which was a giant lamb chop that we got for her. My husband making dinner, us taking a rest. This is a photo my husband took. Fell asleep together in the chair in the afternoon. All right, moving on to Wednesday. More 3x4s. My daily details for our dog. So we wrote those together about her. Catching, highlighting specific things that are happening right now, like crafty Zoom calls with friends. This list for today is stuff we track. So these are things that we're tracking. So like I track my water intake via an app. We track our dog's bathroom breaks and other activities. I'm tracking my workout data. We're tracking packages via an app. And then just a nature photo on the back. Me getting ready for my run on Wednesday. And Wednesday was the day that I focused on stuff. So this is the stuff of life. So my journaling sort of all fit into that. My photos fit into that. So this is what it takes me to run, right? Like I've got my Apple Watch, I've got sneakers, I've got my sunglasses and my AirPods and a water bottle. So again, just using that lens to guide what I'm looking for and the stories I'm looking for throughout the day. And then again, I had more room here. I didn't have enough journaling to cover the whole page, so just added a strip photo there. No progression photo for Wednesday. This was fun. I put my phone in my We have like a cluster box in our neighborhood for our mailbox, so I stuck my phone in there and took a photo. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. It's the first time I've ever done that. Today's details, feeding the dog. Allie had mentioned during the prep party class that she was going to sort of include stuff of life every day in her album. I don't have enough stuff like that to collect every day, so I just kept a stash of things throughout the week. And since Wednesday was my stuff day, that's where I included it. So I used a 2-inch circle punch to punch out all of these things out of circles. And they're like concerts that were canceled, emails that we got about that. We got some carry out from a couple of different places, DoorDash delivered, my husband's oatmeal packet. I got new sunglasses this week, so that's part of the packaging from that. I got a new Nintendo Switch this week, so that's part of that. Some mail things, right? Some branding, something from our dog's treat bag that she had emptied, prescription info. Yeah, it's just, I like the circles. That's something I've never done in the 2x2 pocket, so that's really cool. Another 6x8 photo of us enjoying this was after lunch on the deck. And this was the day that I cleaned out my closet. So I took some photos of that too. Moving on to Thursday. More 3x4s. Took this photo by propping, we have like sort of right at the end of across from the end of our bed, we have double doors that go into our bathroom. And so I just propped my phone up on the doorknob and used my Apple Watch to take the photo. And then my daily details, my husband's journaling, and 2 photos. This was a quote from Dolores in Westworld. I choose to see the beauty. That really stood out to me from that show. Again, we were sort of finishing up season 2 and 3 this week. And so that just, again, felt really fitting for this year. John Krasinski's Some Good News show. Totally love it. I wish it was still happening because it was amazing and awesome and made me cry a lot. This is a cool like 80s band photo on one of our afternoon walks. So I like that. Thursday's story lens was for the love of. So for the love of getting outside, for the love of a day with no plans, for the love of our sweet Ruby girl, like just using that as a jumping off point to tell stories. And then I did something a little different because I didn't have the same photos. I included this is a 3x8 insert that's 2 3x4s. So this is a photo of my husband. We're doing curbside at Chick-fil-A. And so just a little bit of journaling about that experience. And then our lunch and our evening dessert was ice cream delivered. Us in our masks, just super real part of life in the car. And then again, reflective journaling for Thursday. More daily details, a mirror selfie. I sort of always have one of those. My husband's work set up in the basement. Excuse me. One of the things Allie talked about was the idea of letting darks be dark and lights be light. And so she had talked about the idea of taking a photo looking into the house from the outside, and you can see, like, we have a 3-story house, so I can't really like see in the window or anything like that. So I just took this from our driveway as I was taking the dog out for her bedtime walk. And it's just glowy and cool. Like, I really like the way that turned out. Moving on to Friday. Friday, my Switch arrived, so we were playing Switch together. Animal Crossing, in case you're wondering. This was a screenshot that I took for May 15th, which was, I believe was Friday. Yeah. Our state, Maryland, moved into stage 1 of our reopening plan. And so I just wanted to highlight that. For today's tag, I did a currently missing and just hand wrote a couple of things that were missing as part of the pandemic. A Zoom call that we had with some of our, this was a Zoom happy hour that we were having with some of the clients that we work with. Friday's big picture was our fire pit out on our deck. Just a nice night to be outside playing video games. Friday's story lens was today and it was short journaling. I always have one day that's just a little short, and that's okay. So this was just like a page and a half, and then I added a photo in. And then a big photo on the back. Some more handmade embellishments. Another phone, America Ferrera on the Armchair Expert podcast with Dax Shepard, which is really, really good. And the Matt and Kim playlist that I was listening to. A work meeting, you know, just bits of life. My husband and I by the firelight. And Friday's daily details, me working at my desk, our family walk, and us making dinner. So Saturday, getting into the weekend, more 3x4s. I didn't have enough photos here, so I just included a stamped embellishment that I made. This is the best of the not so great, which again, that was really fitting. For this tag, one of the ideas that I had gotten from the prep party, I think, was to document things we overhear from our Amazon Echoes. So this is her overheard and different things that we tell her to do and different things she says back to us. We had sent my nephew his birthday present just via the mail. And so had that delivered to him. So my sister sent me a photo of him playing with that. So I included that. More Switch, more Animal Crossing. Saturday's journaling was super short. And for Saturday, I used the lens of joy looks, sounds, feels like. So each sentence or each story starts with joy looks like, or joy sounds like, or joy feels like. More snapshots of things that I'm listening to. And then this was a great, so many memes about coronavirus and the pandemic. And so this is a snippet of from Friends where Phoebe's trying to teach Joey French, and it's all about the pandemic, and it's super funny. More 4x6 photos. I added a little bit of chipboard to this one. And then here, again, I did something a little different. I've got the 2 3x4s and the 4x6 on the bottom because that's what worked best with my photos. We took a little outing to go do drive-through, carry out lunch at one of our favorite places, and go and watch the planes at the airfield for our local airport, our big local airport. And then Sunday, so these were great. In the morning, we went over to have a socially distant visit with my nephew and my sister for his birthday. And sort of just a drive-by, we hung out in the yard. This was him reading us The Very Hungry Caterpillar. And then in the evening, we went to my sister-in-law's house and had a socially distant family dinner. So I got to capture both of our nephews sort of in similar positions, both in the grass and the yard, playing and doing things, but 2 different stories. So that was really cool. Then in the afternoon, we had a Zoom call for my nephew's birthday so we could all sing him happy birthday and watch him blow out his candles. So that was cool. Today's tag has Honey Don't Walk Out, I'm Too Drunk to Follow, which is a Tom Petty quote from the song Rebels. We are huge Tom Petty fans around here. Oh, and a Dunkin' Donuts photo on the back. And on Sunday, we got to watch an old, of course, live stream from a 2014 concert. So it was a full concert, and we got to watch it via the internet, and it was just awesome. And so super fun, again, because we won't get to go to Heartbreakers concerts anymore, and they're our favorite band. And so that was a lot of fun. Sunday was my story lens was I Want to Remember. Included a photo of us in bed. Another progression, so this is me prepping breakfast, cleaning up in the afternoon, doing dishes in the evening. I just like the way the light changes and the scene changes. Sunday, I did something a little bit different. This is, I typed out journaling because it wouldn't all fit otherwise. Lessons learned during the COVID-19 pandemic. So again, just things that I'm reflecting on and thinking about. big photo of us outside my sister's. And then our socially distant family dinner. So I was happy to include some family photos in here. And then in the back, what I did is I created this page, which is just a sheet of vellum with stamped the Week in the Life stamp over and over again in multicolors from the kit and white. I thought I might include other things back here. I ended up not, which is fine. So each day, excuse me, I kept track of our meals. So these are all my meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and all of my husband's meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So yeah, that's my week in the life. If you've got any questions, please let me know in the comments below. This is one of my favorite projects, if not my favorite project, every year. I'm really happy this year because, let me show you, my album actually closes pretty flat. Look at that. My last 2 years' albums sort of sit like this. So I am really happy. I'm happy to be done with this. I will be showing this to my husband and putting it on the shelf. So thanks for watching.